Your Cincinnati Bengals have clawed their way back to over 500. They are 4-3 after 7 weeks. I'm Joe Goodberry. This is Bengals on the Brain, part of the Cincinnati Bengals Talk YouTube network page, video, place. It's YouTube. It's where you get your Bengals news, and they've got you covered on pretty much everything. We're not going to talk too much today. We're going to dive right in. We're going to start right with the videos and get right into it because I'm doing something a little bit different this time. I've got 5 plays that I want to break down, and they're going to be the 5 biggest plays of the game. Not most crucial, so maybe not the biggest. Maybe these are the 5 best plays of the game. I do this in one take, so I'm kind of thinking out loud right now as I'm doing it. But we'll go over the game a little bit more after the videos, talk about the upcoming opponent, Monday Night Football, and that'll be for if you want the talking. If you want the film, we're going to start that right away. See, these are 5 best plays of the Bengals' victory over the Atlanta Falcons, 35-17. Coming in at number 5 is Joe Mixon's touchdown. He seems to get one touchdown every week right now, even without having a big game, right? But it starts with a Bengals under center play, which is very rare for this offense these days. Joe Mixon makes a jump cut, is able to keep his balance, fight through contact, power, lean forward, ball crossing the goal line right there, knee down now. So clearly a touchdown that was reviewed, as all scoring plays are. But really, when you look at it and you say, what are the things we've been asking Mixon to do? Well, make a guy miss, keep his balance, fall forward. Look at the athleticism on the jump cut, though. Like, bam. Like, that's old Joe Mixon right there. And I know he's not getting a lot of touches right now, but that's him. And you got 3 blockers on the left side. You got 3 defenders, and except for that safety that's right there. That's what I wanted to highlight right here is that it's 3 versus 3. And the blocking's not even that great, but when it's 3 versus 3, you'll take that every time running weak side. But why didn't that safety help? Because he is so hyper-focused on Ja'Marr Chase at the goal line. The Bengals have seen this. We've showed this on the show, and they're using it to their advantage. You want to go with Chase? Fine. That just leaves you a man short to defend the run. We'll take it. And at number 4, we have Ja'Marr Chase doing Ja'Marr Chase stuff. This play is very similar to the game winner against the Saints last week where he just hits the comeback. Is it a back shoulder? I think it's more of a back shoulder, but the way they just lob it in there, he just changes direction, hits acceleration, hits top speed so quickly that it's just hard for any defender to stay with him. Like right here, he sees, okay, it's coming. The corner doesn't know. He can't set his feet or can't stop himself. He can't regain control of his own body. Meanwhile, an elite athlete is just running by you. Let's go to the tape, and it's a dreaded cover 2. Nope, they're switching at the snap, and we got middle of the field closed, means we need to go to the outside. It's that quick. You've got 1 second to adjust and throw it to the outside. Obviously, we know about Burrow processing at a high rate. Very fast processor, something we talked about earlier. Not blitzing here. Look at this clean pocket. But when you're not going to blitz him, and the Falcons didn't, and when he's processing this clean and this quick, man, it's a tough day for the defense. Plays 5 and 4 for the offense. Joe Mixon, Ja'Marr Chase. These are the plays, right? These are the 2 pillars of the offense in terms of who touches the ball most outside of Joe Burrow. So I think number 5 being that rushing touchdown hits for a few things for me. Number 1, the goal line offense has been something we've talked about for a couple weeks now. Their struggles. Do they go back under center? Do they run the ball inside the 5? All things guys wanted or fans wanted, people wanted to see. They did it. And it was a bit of a grind because they lost yardage. And then they, it almost got to the point where I thought Mixon wasn't going to get in there. And I think that's why I like this play so much, because we've seen him get tripped up how many times. We've talked about Mixon not breaking tackles, not having vision, or bouncing it out too quickly at times. Man, that jump cut looks like that athletic Mixon that we know. And then staying on your feet, staying balanced, hitting the right hole. The double coverage to Ja'Marr Chase's side just makes it easier to attack that side of the field. And the Bengals did it. And it's all stuff we've seen throughout the year, so it makes the narrative and why I like that play. It's a 1-yard run for a touchdown on the stat sheet. But I think when we watch it, it hits a lot of key points that we've been looking for throughout the year. And then obviously number 4, Ja'Marr Chase, very similar play to the Saints game. right? That one where he won it and went all the way at the end. He's getting a stop route where he comes back. The guy can't even touch him because he's that much more athletic. His stop start, pew. Yeah, that's it, man. You get Jamar Chase off on a big game, you probably feel really good about the Bengals offense if he's going off the way he did. So here's number 3 and number 2. Do we get some defense on this when they have a second half shutout? Let's check it out. We're going to cheat just a little bit for number 3 here because I have 3 players and 3 plays to focus on. It's not all offense. There's some defense here at number 3. And we're going to start with the first sack of the day. It's when the Falcons could have got back in this game, really. And it's 28-17, as you can see right there. Trey Hendrickson comes through, gets his 3rd sack of the season, 3.5 sacks to be official here. And the Bengals only rushed 3. And B.J. Hill's out of the play right away if you see him on the ground right there. But if you only rush 3, how do you get a sack? What do you do on the back half? A nice hustle, a nice play by Trey Hendrickson, obviously, of course. But what happened on the back half? And I want to give a lot of credit to Jermaine Pratt here because as they motion that running back out, it looks like Von Bell's going to go take him. So I think Pratt jumps out right at the snap, and we got a slant flat combo, and that really messes up Mariota as Pratt takes both of those guys. Really, he jumps out onto the flat. It's not man coverage, and Mariota thought he was getting man by the way the safety moved out with the running back. So as you see him, like instantly, he's like, okay, I got an easy flat here. I'm just going to turn, flip it out to him. We'll pick up good yardage. And then he goes to the slant, and Pratt is jumping into that window. He comes back the other way, and the Bengals dropped Hubbard into coverage. That's why they only rushed 3. So great job by Lou Anarumo and the Bengals defense there. Next play, Sam Hubbard's sack. And this is after Trey Hendrickson goes out with a stinger, as we found out. And we talked last week, or 2 weeks ago, it was after the Jets game, how Hubbard really doesn't do well running the arc and cutting this corner here and flatlining to the quarterback. And man, does he do it there. He even over pursues and turns that in an even tighter angle than it had to be. But the Bengals are showing blitz again, very similar to the last play. They're going to show one thing and they're going to drop into another. Here's Jermaine Pratt again. He's going to be the Tampa 2 middle linebacker as he races back. Bates and Akeem Davis-Gaither also drop back into coverage. And it's just not what Mariota expected. Forced him to hold on the ball a little bit longer. Just honestly a really good rush by Hubbard. It's nice to see him be able to bend the edge like this, run the arc, and just disengage with a nice rip. And yeah, cutting that corner the way he does. Next play. The Bengals needed it. They needed someone to step up in Trey Hendrickson's place. It's 35-17. This is going to be the last play of the game for the Falcons offense, because they don't get the ball back after this. The Bengals run the clock out. But it's a sugar in the A-gap look. They're going to look like they're giving everyone up the middle, which is going to cause some issues for the protection here. But the focus is Joseph Ossai. I can't believe I already got in about 20 seconds on this play before saying his name. Joseph Ossai, last year's 3rd-round pick out of Texas, gets his first sack of his career, and it's a doozy, man. What a spin move, an outside spin move. This is something that used to never see until about 10 to 15 years ago when these athletic guys really became pass rushers in the NFL. And you're going to watch as he goes inside with this step. I think Matthews must think it's a twist, so he goes in and dives at the D tackle. Yeah, he was wrong on that one. What a play by Joseph Ossai. I mean, that takes agility, man. And he sold that inside move on previous plays, so great job by these 3 guys. And at number 2 of the top 5 plays of the week, Jamar Chase does a gritty after the Bengals hit a patented, looked like 2021 vertical ball to Jamar Chase, and a beautiful throw. Nice, easy outside release, restack the corner, and just beat a subpar player down the field for Jamar Chase. But the catch is really nice. Late hands, too, which is something we talked about in his draft profile. When you get your hands up there late, the corner, when he doesn't turn his back to it, can't play your hands and can't knock it away. Look at him. He swiped at nothing. Just hit Jamar Chase in the chest. Plus, that ball's over Chase's eyes. Really, really tough catch that he makes look easy. And this is a Bengals staple play. It's a 9-8-9. 2 vertical routes on the outside is the 9. The 8 is Tyler Boyd. He can run a dig or a post, depending on a single high or 2 deep safeties. And all Burrow has to do is double check after the snap, make sure it's still a free safety in the middle of the field, and if he can freeze him a little bit by just staring him down, not giving away where he's going to go with it, and then just turning and throwing, hitting that deep ball,
man, defenses will give you this all day, but the Bengals are just too good at it.
So number 3 was the defense, and yeah, I cheated a bit. I could put 3 plays in there, but they were all good. They were all fun. At first I was like, I'll just put the Joseph Osai play in here because it's Osai's first sack. He did a spin move. It's all crazy. But then I looked at it and said, you know what? That coverage and Jermaine Pratt and what he's doing and what Lou Anarumo's doing, I should focus on all these guys. Hubbard's having a stellar year. Let's include him. Let's make this a defensive play of the game. Number 3, the defense was lights out in the second half. And then play number 2, vertical balls to Jamar Chase. Splash plays, explosive plays, things this offense has been missing. Things that we've pretty much in the first 5 weeks of doing this show was, how do we get back to explosive plays? What are defenses doing to take it away? Why aren't they there? Why can't they go vertical to Jamar Chase? And we see the last couple weeks when teams don't really want to play the cover 2 that much, the Bengals will hit their one-on-one shots. And they know how to exploit the cover 2 a little bit more. They're willing to run the ball. Everything doesn't look the same now from under center and shotgun. Their Bengals are just straight up in shotgun. So it's like, you guys don't know what we're going to do. And I think all of these things help get Chase open. And he's playing at a high level. Looks very confident. Looks like he's having fun. Man, that spark that Jamar Chase provides for this entire team is just big. And yeah, that's in play number 2 because I think that's a very low probability throw also because that window is tight. It's only like a 35-yard go ball instead of a 40-yardish go ball, which makes it a little bit harder to fit it in there. The safety screams over there right away. I like that play. We're going to need to see more of that, or defenses are going to start going back into their cover 2 shells very quickly here. Play number 1, what is it? I don't think it's any secret now. Let's check it out.
We'll get back to Bengals on the Brain with Joe Goodberry in just a second, but first a word from Manscaped, because Manscaped is the world's best men's below-the-waist groomer. And let's be honest, fellas, you need to keep things straight down there. This isn't if you're looking to do it, it's a need. It's a requirement. Well, to keep yourself happy, to keep her happy, to keep everyone happy. And you know how you do it? You go to manscaped.com right now. Use promo code BengalsTalk. You're going to get 20% off their Performance Package 4.0. What comes in the Performance Package 4.0? Well, first, it's the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is waterproof. It's not gonna nick you. It's gonna be real easy to trim up and keep everything nice and fresh down there. But it's not just that. It comes with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, the Crop Reviver Toner, which is gonna keep things nice and fresh. Plus, well, they have their boxer briefs, which are the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. Plus, a travel bag to hold all your goodies in. Also, an ear and nose hair trimmer, which you need, everybody needs, and most people don't use it. So don't delay. Right now, get 20% off and free shipping with promo code BengalsTalk at manscaped.com. Go there now, use promo code BengalsTalk, and it's already going to be on the way with free shipping. All you have to do is use promo code BengalsTalk. Order it before Bengals on the Brain ends so you can be nice and fresh, and let us know when you do. Again, promo code BengalsTalk at manscaped.com.
And finally, play number 1. We've got the touchdown to start the game, to get the Bengals on a fast start, to get some big explosive plays down the middle of the field versus cover 2. Everything we've been asking for, plus a little play action out of shotgun. All of these good things to go. 4 plays, 75 yards, capping it off with a 60-yarder. Tyler Boyd out of the slot, running a post right at the safety, getting him to fall. Can we get another look at that safety just completely messing up his feet there and just, oh, man. They're going to look at that in the Atlanta film room and not be so kind. But we got 2 deep safeties. We know this. Cover 2, but it's Tampa 2 if that middle linebacker can drop into that middle area. These safeties are going to go flat and wide if they can go deep enough to cover that, and they just can't here. And what I'm trying to say is look at this combo by Higgins and Boyd. You got a post and you've got an out and up almost with Higgins there. That safety was in a bind no matter what. Even if he didn't fall, this is a touchdown either way. The Bengals just had a really good scheme. The play action holds that middle linebacker so he can't take that deep middle out of the play. This was going to score no matter what. And hopefully this gives them the confidence, yeah, we can do this with Higgins later in the year. But look at Ted Karras there going against Grady Jarrett. Get a swim move? No, sir.
So the play of the game is the 4th play of the game. The deep ball to Tyler Boyd against cover 2. So we got play action. We got shotgun. We got play action. We got guys running deep. We got 2 guys open on the play because I think T. Higgins would have been a fine ball to go to if the safety doesn't fall. And we're beating Tampa too. These are all the points. This is everything. This is everything we wanted. And they hit it right away. So good job. That's good scheming. That's scripted plays. They knew where to hit. It's funny because Ted Karras, after the game, says, yeah, he called that as that's going to be the first touchdown, which means they knew what to look for on tape. They knew how to attack it. They knew how to put that safety in a bind. Yeah, it helps he fell. But even if he stayed on his feet, he's got to cover two guys going deep, Higgins and Boyd. Good luck to you. It's not going to work out in his favor. So Bengals knew what to do there. They knew that they could pause that middle linebacker, I think, with a little bit of play action. So good for them. That started it off. That made you feel like instantly like it's going to be that kind of day. It's going to be their day. And it's funny because this season is really paralleled last season. And last year, we were like, it's his knee. He's coming back slowly from his knee. And then it was the appendectomy this year. He's coming back slowly from the appendectomy. And now the passing offense looks very similar. It was week 7 last year. If you remember, the Bengals were 4-2 coming into that game instead of 3-3 this year. Biggest difference is they got the overtime win week 1 in 2021. They did not get the overtime win this year, although they roll that dice again. They probably get it 9 out of 10 times. Point is, really that's been the biggest difference. It's been very parallel so far. But week 7 last year was that Ravens game where they go in there, Burrow puts up 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bengals win 41-17. The Ravens barely score in the second half at all. Jamar Chase has a big game, huge game, 200 yards that game. I mean, and that's when people are like, whoa, the Bengals are serious. The Bengals are for real. They can do this. And now I don't think the level of competition is the same with the Falcons. But, man, like when your offense wakes up, I don't care who's on the other side. Like, you're going to do this. This is what it looks like when the Ravens' backups are out there in week, 15 or 16, whatever it was. And same thing. I mean, the Falcons got decimated. And that's how you get 500 yards. That's what it looks like. And I think this is waking up the Bengals and getting them in the same spot and getting them rolling again. And yeah, it's a 1-game difference. Whereas, like, if you look at last year, 1 game, 1 more loss, they probably don't make the playoffs. So the Bengals are going to have to steal 1 more now to get that back. And maybe that'll be Monday night, right? This defense is playing so well. Can they shut down another running game? I mean, the Ravens, then the Saints, then the Falcons, and then the Browns now. These teams are going to pound it down your throat all day long. Can you hold them off? Can you score early? I think that's a big thing. I think the Bengals would have beat the Ravens. They would have beat the Saints. They would have beaten they did beat the Falcons, but largely because they gotten off pretty quick. When running teams can't control the clock and the game script, it's over for them. Like when the Falcons went down on that long 10-minute drive, I'm like, game is over. Yeah, they scored, but it's over. If that's what it requires for them to have a successful drive in an offense, and they're already down 21-0, it's done. It is done. A lot of craziness would have to happen, like the big 75-yard throw over Eli Apple, the punt return, they get a field goal out of it, and those are like freak things. As you can see, they don't score again in the rest of the game. So if the Bengals can get out to fast start, control the game, they should be able to handle the Browns. Browns got like the 31st ranked defense right now. Monday night, Burrow's hot. Chase is hot. This could go a long way. Honestly, it sounds crazy, and maybe it's not crazy. We gotta have high expectations here now, but maybe it's crazy if you don't know this, if you don't know our expectations. But Burrow's like writing his MVP candidacy right now. Like, he does this on Monday night, on Thanksgiving, and blows up the Browns and keeps staying on fire. Browns, who he hasn't been able to beat. He's had good games, but hasn't been able to beat them. He does that, and I think people are going to be like, watch out. Big play Bengals are back. Burrow's back. Everything's back. Everything looks good. I think it's that close. So, and this is the Panthers after. I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't actually looked at the schedule too far ahead. I usually don't, but I think it's Panthers next. Yeah, they beat the Bucks, but still, idea here is that this is fun. This is where we want to be. Sucks to lose those first 2 games, but maybe it forced them to change. Maybe it forced them to get where they needed to be. Maybe if they win those games, they're like, yeah, we can slowly get into it. Slowly. Maybe we don't need to make drastic changes. No one needs to panic type thing. Behind the scenes, they were flipping the script. You can tell now. It's complete. What they started this year is what they thought their offense might be. To now, somebody ripped the playbook in half at some point, especially the running game and a lot of the base idea of where they're going to start formation-wise. They ripped it. after if you go back and watch this, week 2 we talked about how their opening script against Dallas. Week 3 we talked about the opening script versus the Jets and how they continued that throughout the game. It was a slow burn. But man, if they don't lose that week 1 game and if they don't have the struggle the way they do versus Dallas, I'm not sure that we get the drastic change we've gotten. And it's for the better. Bengals have figured it out. They're 4-3. Let's hope we continue this. We got to get some of these guys healthy on defense. Got to get Reeder and Logan Wilson back. Sounds like they're getting close, maybe a week or 2 away, right? That's it for Bengals on the Brain. And let me know if you enjoyed this format a little bit better, a little bit quicker. Run through 5 plays real quick. Actually, it was 7 plays, wasn't it? Cheated a little bit. Hope you like it. I'm Joe Goodberry. Find me on Twitter at Joe Goodberry. Let's have a conversation. Bengals, football, whatever. We can talk about the Bears and Patriots. No one wants to do that, but we can. See ya.